For many, this heat, dust, and isolation remain the perception of agriculture. However, in the 21st century, agriculture is an exciting, high-tech sector that feeds the world.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
I'm good in you. Good in you.
Very well, thank you.
So for those that, the few, there's not a lot yet, but for the few that might have wondered what happened yesterday, is we had a bit of a technical difficulty and we forgot to switch mics on.
Yes, these things happen.
It happens to
professional
people
It was
as
like
well.
Monday on a Tuesday.
So yes, the video that went out yesterday morning, I had to take it down. So here we are again, and we're going to talk about that as well. So, okay, so how's things in the X Valley?
Yes, looking good. Strange sort of misty weather today, but I think there's still water draining out of the little streams. I drove through puddles in the road, in the highway again yesterday. So there's a huge mopping up operation happening. But yes, the after effects are definitely still being felt.
Yeah, and it says there's a little bit of a cold front coming in again towards the weekend. But let's see what that brings. There's a bit of a upper atmosphere thing happening again, which could bring big winds and things again. So let's hope for the best that it's not very destructive. But my trusty source Landwater had a bit of a post this morning about that on his Facebook. So, yeah. And like I said, I quite like what he says about the things, and everything he said is so far come true. So let's hope it's not that bad.
Okay. So, Dewald, tell us about what you did on Monday. It's very exciting.
Yes, Monday afternoon, I got a phone call from Flok Bouwmaster saying that a world champion White Dorper sheep breeder is going to have his animals here in Worcester. They're going to be preparing them for an auction that's actually on today in the Vredendal area. And he asked me if I would like to come and photograph some of the animals. So obviously I jumped at it. It's not something that we often get a chance to do, and it is something that we would really like to do more of.
Yes,
farming.
Indeed.
It's farming. Indeed. It's interesting. It's amazing animals in great condition. So love to see those things. So anyway,
when most people see sheep, it's kind of like at a distance in the Karoo, maybe, and you kind of have the idea on your plate, or you have the idea of a wool sheep. But have a look at these things; they are quite different. You can put those things up, Dewald.
Now you'll have to put it in from your side.
So have a look at this. Okay. This is the animals we're talking about.
This is the breeder, Trompselje and Seuns. He's in the Laingsburg area. And it's Afrikaans.
And they are world champion sheep. Here, the world champion stud. They were awarded world champion status last year. So it's quite something. And you can see how tame these sheep are and how solid they are. So I'll just put up the video of.
Yeah, this is just raw footage that I'm playing in from that I filmed. Just give it a bit of so you can absolutely see the beautiful conditions.
Look at the light on that beautiful animal, and look how sturdy they are.
Yeah, I wanted to do something a little bit different than what you normally see with these kind of videos.
And they brought these animals down from Laingsburg to somewhere near Worcester, where they were washing them and preparing them for the auction. So we were joking with the owner, saying, "Oh, they're having their spa before they're going to go and strut their stuff." So look how beautiful these animals are.
Yeah, and if you think these are going to end up on some plate somewhere, probably not in the near distant future. They are. This is purely for genetics. So these animals will be brought up by other farmers um, with the same breed, and they will use them to increase the genetics in their current flock. And also because they are big bodied, they've got all the right characteristics. It means that the lambs that they might produce could deliver more meat for the slaughterhouses.
Yeah, and these animals are purely for meat. They have very little wool, and as the breeder was saying, they are first and foremost for meat. The wool is not really a thing with them, and they are just absolutely incredible. To see these animals up close, it was quite special. And
Yeah,
explain how you had to photograph them.
In which way? Oh yes.
Well, the way that they stand and so on.
Yes, so that is a thing. They need to stand in a particular way because you need to see all the right characteristics. So you've got to have them so that the back must be straight, the legs must be slightly apart so you can see the crown jewels, and then they must face forward so you can see the little hump on the nose. It's quite interesting. It was something new that I've only ever done about 6 years ago with some stud cattle, long before we were doing what we're doing now. So it was a nice learning experience which I really enjoyed.
Yeah. And it was interesting to see how tame these animals are. They were really, we didn't have to run after them or whatever. They were quite happy for us to approach them.
And there was a bit of running and huffing and puffing, but when you're a photographer, you can shout them. It's much easier than shouting a bride around on a wedding day.
Look at that! Oh wow, absolutely incredible. So it was also for us to see these animals. I mean, we are surrounded mostly by fruit production in the Western Cape. So to see animals like this was very special. And as Jewel says, to have the opportunity to photograph them.
Yeah.
Okay.
The auction is happening today. If you can just put the other screen on again, you'll see. There it is. Vredendal klaverveiling, Wes-Kaapland se Dorper veiling, and there's quite a bit of genetics going to this.
So you can see they are called White Dorpers. This is the one that's on the screen now. They have a white head as opposed to the other ones that are, yeah.
It's got a black head. And on the wool thing, if you leave them long enough without shearing them, they do get fluffy. But it's not a pretty wool. It's more of a straggly. It's just long curly hair basically. You can't really shear them for an income, to put it that way.
Okay, so moving on to other things, we are at the moment. It's Fruit Attraction in Madrid. The Fruit Attraction exhibition and conference in Madrid, and I can think of it must be rather lovely to go to Spain in early autumn, and
and everybody that we know is there.
Yes, and
apart
Fruit Attraction apart from us, and Fruit Attraction certainly seems to have been growing over the last 10 years. I mean, I don't think it's not as old as something like Fruit, but it's certainly growing, and one gets very good report backs on the attendance.
From what I'm seeing in social media is that it's almost like there's a much bigger excitement around Fruit Attraction than it is versus Logistica. And again, it's just what I'm noticing. It's almost like people are more eager to go to this event than what they are to Logistica.
It's also interesting in that it is in a Spanish-speaking country, and if you think about so many of the people that we've met from South America, it just facilitates it for them. Whereas, Fruit Logistica is in Berlin, which is it's also wonderful. It's an amazing experience to attend, but they have a different flavor. So
it's winter, like you said.
Yeah, Fruit Logistica is always a huge climate shock going to going to Berlin in early February. For anybody from the Southern Hemisphere, that is pretty serious climate shock.
We've spoken to people who said that the delegates complain quite a bit about the coldness, especially if you're from South Africa in February. It's a nice balming 30-degree plus in February in most places.
Yeah. So fruit attraction, oh, I see it says 15 years. So that's on the banner. So obviously they've been around for 15 years. And it's amazing how well it's grown. And it certainly looks like something, as someone says to me, have you been to fruit attraction? The answer is not no, it's just not yet.
Yes, yes,
so
for sure.
we'd love to go.
And for those who might be listening and would like to see us there, we can do these kind of things from there as well for you.
Yes, indeed, indeed. Well, I think that's pretty much it for today. Thank you for watching.
Yes.
And
so on tomorrow and Friday, we will be down in the Garden Route. We're going to be filming at the World Food Day event that's being held in Plet. We're looking quite forward to that. And on Sunday, I'm going off to Bloemfontein and Kimberley to go and film a little bit up there.
So yes, we're not sitting around, and we will try to go live as and when we can in between all of this. But thank you for your interest, and we'll chat again.
Okay, cheerio.
Thanks a lot.